or at least more filled out. Even before the bad business with Billy, Siobhán had always felt on edge around Niall. Maybe it was his eyes, technically brown, but so intense, his pupils so enormous, that she always thought of them as black. She wasn't prepared for the shock. What was he doing here? It was impossible to look at Niall without 1,000 dark memories swarming in. Just when she thought she was on the mend, there he was again, the sniper of grief, aiming a killing blow at her heart. Instantly, no time had passed at all. No time since that cruel morning, almost 1 year ago, when Niall's brother Billy got into his sporty red car, absolutely blotto, and slammed head-on into her parents. They died on impact. Billy was charged with drunk driving and sent to prison, and Niall took off for Dublin, where, for some reason, Siobhán had just assumed he would stay. She wanted to back out of the shop, but he'd already trained his dark eyes on her. Just then, Bridie Sheedy's head popped out from the other side of Niall. Seamus's wife was so petite, Siobhán hadn't seen her at first. "Hello," Bridie called out. "How are you?" Despite an obvious attempt to sound cheerful, Bridie's voice wobbled, and Siobhán got the distinct feeling that she'd just interrupted something. What on earth was Bridie doing standing so close to Niall? The two of them couldn't be sneaking around, could they? Surely not. Bridie was mad about Seamus, despite their age difference. Everyone knew that. "Grand," Siobhán said, doing her best to avoid Niall's stare. "How are you?" "Not a bother." A smile broke out on Bridie's face, and this time it seemed genuine. With her head of brown curls and sparkling green eyes, Bridie's presence eased the tightness in Siobhán's chest a wee bit. Her smile didn't waver, but her tiny hand fluttered to her head, where she adjusted a knitted blue flower stuck in her hair, one she'd no doubt made herself. Bridie was always a walking advertisement for her homemade wares. It was odd to see her in here, surrounded by grease and wheels and dirty rags. She was normally at Courtney Kirby's gift shop, where she sold everything from jewellery to handmade scarves. And when she wasn't at Courtney's, she was perched on top of a stationary bike at spinning class. Siobhán would much rather ride a scooter. It never made sense to her why anyone would want to pedal like mad atop something that was never going to go anywhere. Bridie picked up her bedazzled handbag, whisked out from behind the counter, and grabbed Siobhán by the arm. She had a surprisingly strong grip for such a little woman. "Would you mind keeping my secret?" Siobhán extricated Bridie's clawing fingers from her arm. She was the porcelain variety of pale, and bruised easily. "What secret?" "Don't tell Seamus I was here. I'm begging you." "Oh." Jesus, she didn't want to be part of that kind of secret. Was Bridie cheating on Seamus? With Niall? Right here in the shop? Bridie must have noticed Siobhán's face go scarlet, for she gasped and then laughed. No, pet. Not that Niall'll be needing to confess to Father Kearney. She continued to laugh, and Siobhán couldn't help but laugh with her. Niall was helping me order a gear for Seamus. Seamus was an avid road racer, always darting about town on his bicycle. He used to compete in actual road races and had loads of trophies to show for it. Better than spinning, but Siobhán still preferred the scooters. "A surprise," Bridie continued, "for his birthday." "Ah, of course, not a bother," Siobhán said. "Grand." Bridie laughed and then kissed each of Siobhán's cheeks. "When are you going to whittle us a few dainty birds or roses for Courtney's store?" She kept her big eyes on Siobhán without blinking. Siobhán had learned to whittle from her grandfather, who noticed Siobhán had temper. Although her man was terrified at the thought of putting a knife into her wee hands, her grandfather insisted whittling would be a good outlet for the young hothead. It required patience and concentration. And to everyone but her grandfather's surprise, she was right good at it. She could turn a piece of wood into a tiny singing bird, or a delicate flower, or, her personal favourite, a Celtic cross.